Hello, my name is Abby Woods, and I'm doing my video synopsis and summary. And what I thought was interesting about Chapter 4 in my Human Sexualities for Society book. A couple of the things that I found really interesting, was very at the beginning of the book, was the 1989 AIDS epidemic in New York. And this chapter goes through some of the struggles and emergences. I think I'm saying that word right. I don't know. And the approach to some of the things that the LGBTQ community went through. And one of the things was the AIDS epidemic in New York City. And it was the biggest AIDS epidemic, I think, in history, if I remember correctly. And what really got me was the church, the Catholic Church. They didn't care. They tried to push it under the rug. And I watched a movie called Spotlight that was very similar to this, but not totally the same. It was about how the Catholic Church had lied and pushed stuff under the rug about the I forget the word. The priests and the bishops and whatever. Whatever, I can't remember the word. But they were abusing children. And they pushed it under the rug. They said, oh, no, that guy was on sick leave. Okay, no, he wasn't. He was abusing children. And that really, it kind of clicked in my mind that it's very similar. How the church tries to cover things up. Let's see. So during that, I thought this was super interesting. They called this the die-in. Kind of like dine-in, but die-in. There was a church service going on, and these protesters holding signs and, like, giving out flyers, they all went into the church and they laid on the ground. And that was to protest and to make known how big this AIDS epidemic was. And this was from the late 80s into the early 90s, how big this AIDS epidemic was. I thought it was very interesting. AIDS is a huge deal. It really is. Let's see here. I've got a couple notes written down here. World War II. This was a big thing in this chapter too, and I love World War II. I love history. This is about the influence that World War II had on gay rights. So for World War II, there was like 300,000 soldiers. 100,000 of them were females finally being able to go and do things and help out. So within that 300,000 group of people, there's bound to be some people who are interested in the same sex. So this gave the opportunity for so many people to branch out and meet people like them. And I thought that was super interesting. Or it says 12 million men, not 300,000. There was 150,000 women, which was really, that was interesting. I didn't know that there was that many people involved in World War II, actually. Let's see. I thought this was funny. Not funny, but it was interesting to me that there's a thing called gayborhoods. That's super interesting. And it's like almost a community of people who like the same sex. There's doctor's offices, there's post offices, grocery stores, there's bath houses. And I think the bath houses, I remember watching a documentary about Jeffrey Dahmer, and he would go to these bath houses for gay men. And there was a time where you weren't allowed to go there. There was a time where it was illegal to cross-dress. Gay bars were illegal. Couldn't go in there, which is so interesting because you think about today. There's this super cool club down in the city. It's called the Gay 90s. But that would have been illegal. It messes my mind up thinking that how different the world is now than it was then. How changing and how the times come and go. And it's really interesting to think about how Oh, here's another thing that I liked about this chapter was that there was, I don't know, there was a need for a gay press. Somebody to speak for the community and somebody to say what's going on, because a lot of people didn't know. There was, I think his pseudonym was William Corey, I believe. I think I'm getting that wrong. I don't know. But he was the first gay press, and he spoke about the issues, and he spoke about what was going on, and that's something that the gay community and the LGBTQ community needed. And so I thought that was super interesting. I also found it interesting that he had to use a pseudonym. I don't know, I don't remember if I read that it was illegal to have a gay press or write or read about it. I don't remember, but all in all, I enjoyed this chapter a lot. I learned something new every time I open this book, and reading about the struggles that community had to go through and how quickly the times were changing, it's fascinating. So, yeah, thank you.